Hey, what's up, guys, and welcome back to another Real Madrid review. Real Madrid 2, Mallorca 1 in what was a uh, disgraceful game. Honestly, look, before I talk about this game and how things went, and obviously Real Madrid won, Real Madrid get the 3 points, Real Madrid will be the league leaders heading into the international break. Obviously, I am recording this after today's games against between Barcelona and Rayo Vallecano, which Barcelona drew, and I dropped points there. Um, but despite Real Madrid being in that position right now, I think the bigger picture is just talking about La Liga. I think it's about time we sort of have this conversation because, look, it may come across as a biased Real Madrid fan's perspective in terms of whatever I'm gonna say. And look, I am genuinely saying this. Really, really, I'm not trying to be biased. Look, when something goes against Real Madrid, usually if it's valid, I say it. I say it. Now, if something goes for Real Madrid and it's not valid, I also say it. I like to be honest and truthful in terms of the decisions made and just the football, right? I think it's important to take the bias away and talk about the football itself. And again, people might not believe it, might not buy into it, and that's totally okay. But I am trying to be, and I am really coming across as just my opinion and my honest opinions in terms of whatever I'm gonna say today. But I think it's a joke. Now, I don't really like this sort of it's a Barcelona paying the referees, paying the Spanish Federation. I'm not against that because just because something goes against you doesn't mean that it is your rival, your opponent, uh, you know, paying off the referee. Barcelona had nothing to do with this game. Obviously, we're not playing Barcelona, and I don't believe that, or I would like to not believe that, Barcelona are the ones involved. Um, those are just throwing accusations, right? Um, I'm not against that. I don't care about people saying that. I think, it's just those Real Madrid fans that, just like to say that, right? They just like to say Barcelona paid refs and things like that. For me, my focus isn't on whether Barcelona sabotaged or whatever, because I think it's a very immature conversation. My topic and my conversation that I'm trying to have here is the referees, the Spanish Federation themselves, with the referee making a decision and then VAR, if it works, ruining it even more. And I can't stand that. I can't stand that. Look, let's talk about the game and let me go through. So the sequence of events. Okay, usually I do the goals first, but I'm gonna go through sequence of events. So the first 7 minutes, in the 7th minute, Trent plays a lovely long ball for Mbappe. Now, is it offside? Is it offside? Because he goes through, he makes the run, and it's given as an offside. Now, Kylian Mbappe himself, actually, funnily enough, posted this on his story. Let me go and get it, because I saw the post. So he posted this. Now, if you look at the image of the VAR, you can see his hand, his right hand, and some parts of his left hand is offside. But because the hand isn't a body part which can score, it shouldn't count. And if you look at it, probably some part of his hair is offside. But apart from that, his legs are clearly on. His head, some may argue, is off. Um, but I think it's just a hair. So for that to be given as offside, honestly, man, I think it's one of those 50-50 ones. I think it's a joke personally, but I've seen a lot of people say that it's clearly offside. Okay, never mind. Mbappe gets the goal ruled out. No goal for Kylian there. Then we go and into the next sequence, which Mallorca scored. Good corner whipped in by Pablo Torre. Muriqi, good header. I said in the preview he's a player that we need to look out for. Easy header for him. And then again, that is the last action, and then it is Real Madrid back into it, right? Carreras plays a beautiful ball, hoists into the back post, cushions it down into the box for Arda Güler, who heads it in 37th minute, and then literally straight from kickoff, Real Madrid win the ball back. Fede Valverde sends Vini Jr. through on the run. Vini cuts onto his right foot, then cuts back out and then scores with his left foot. Brilliant goal, Vini Jr. again, showing that when he's playing well, we said it against Real Oviedo, when Vini Jr. is playing well, he's obviously at his absolute best. But before I get sort of caught out here, and then here, right? Arda Güler, there wasn't a goal check here. Yeah, 56th minute, right? Mastantuono does well, gets the ball. Again, cuts it onto his right foot. Good save by the keeper. Bounces back. Strikes Arda Güler in his hand. And then he hits the keeper again. And then it comes back to him and he scores. First of all, what is Arda Güler supposed to do there? Okay? Now, that's what I like to think. But I'm not going to contradict myself here, because I did the Chelsea Fulham live watch along on this channel, and Chelsea had the penalty, and it was something similar, right? Except, okay, the defender, I think Ryan Sessegnon, what he did was his arm was clearly out, right? But I thought it was a little bit hit and miss in terms of what the rules actually are, right? What is the rules on this? Okay, are we going to give it as long as it touches the hand in any ways, it's a penalty / if you score, it's not a goal? We don't know what the clear and obvious rules to handball are anymore. We don't know what it is. If it strikes your hand, does it count? Because sometimes it does, sometimes it doesn't. So we have not been given the clearance. We've not been given the official rule book that explains clearly in details. For me, look, I really believe that being ruled out, I can get behind a little bit more, because I've said it before, right? I've said it before. As long as it touches the hand, it's either a penalty in your own box. So in that case, if you're in the opponent box, technically it doesn't count, right? But again, it's unintentional. But also again, clearly, football has gone in the place where even if it hits your hand unintentionally, it's gonna be going against you. So look, I don't know what to say really, but I thought that Mbappe offside was much more confusing and much more infuriating. And I think that is also the decision that everyone disagrees with less, in terms of they really believe it's offside. But I don't. I look at it again and I go, okay, the hair is offside, but come on, like a few strands of hair, like So I am perplexed here. But ultimately, I don't really care because Real Madrid won, right? So, um, the 3 points is something that we really needed heading into this game. Obviously, the talking point before the game was our Real Madrid back, for good. You know, you beat Osasuna with a penalty. You beat Real Oviedo, but they aren't exactly a top team. But again, a good win away from home. And then Mallorca, very solid team. They proved that with the first goal. Um, and yeah, overall, I would say I am pretty much uh, content with the victory. Um, Obviously, yesterday's performance wasn't quite what it was in the first two games, especially that Real Oviedo game. Xabi Alonso admitted it. Aurelien Chouameni, he himself said it as well. But look, you're gonna have those games where some games are gonna play very very well. You dominate, or you play really really well and you lose, or you draw, and you drop points. So yesterday was one of those games where you play 50-60% well, you get the job done, great. There's gonna be games like that too. So we have to sort of acknowledge that side of the game. Obviously, we want to see this team play very very well every game, week in week out, 10 out of 10 performance. But we also have to be realistic that it's not possible really. So I'm looking at it and I'm going, yeah, people are criticizing how Real Madrid are playing and it's not convincing, it's not consistent. You know, the pressure from the attackers is not constant. The midfield is not consistent or whatever. Like, look, I get it. I get that these problems we've talked about before, but hey, I will take a win and let Xabi Alonso do it. Let him do the talk. Let him do the addressing of the issues, because Xabi Alonso has come in and we've seen a big difference in terms of how the attackers press, how the team plays as a team, not just relying on Mbappe. Obviously, Mbappe is still the main man in most games, but he didn't score against Mallorca, right? He didn't score, which could be down to just him or the team, you know, being more of a team than last season was. So I am just, yeah, like I said, content with the victory. Lots of work to be done, of course. I'm not denying that. I'm not, saying that this is perfect, because it's not. But we're taking a step overall from last season to this season. We have taken a step in the right direction, and we are going to take steps in the right direction throughout this journey, throughout this season. It's going to get better. And the first game in the Club World Cup, that's what we said. Against Al Hilal, it wasn't great. We didn't look great. But we said, this team will slowly come good. Now, again, not yet 100%, and it's going to be tough to get there. But I think if we can hit 85-90% of the way there, this team is going to be scary. I genuinely believe that with Xabi Alonso, this team can go places, can go far. So, look, obviously, really, really, really happy with the results. Individual performances wise, the goal, Courtois couldn't do anything about it. It was just a good header, to be honest. Trent had his best game of the season so far, easily. He was doing what he does best, able to make those long passes through for Mbappe to run onto. He had a very good game. Obviously, he came off for Carvajal, but Trent just needs such confidence boost, and he'll definitely come good. And I really didn't like that sort of opinion in terms of he's finished. It's his second game and he's being benched. Look, he's being benched not just by some random player. He's being benched by one of the best right backs of this generation. Okay, Trent is still a student of the master, Dani Carvajal. Okay, let's not disrespect Danny Carvajal here. I thought Militao and Huijsen looked good again. Um, yeah, they did. Rudiger didn't come on, which was a little bit surprising. But this shows that Xabi Alonso is gonna rotate his team. Courtois, I don't think is gonna get rotated. I don't see Alvaro Carreras getting over rotated too much. Neither will Huijsen. Militao will get rotated, I think, with Rudiger. But whoever plays next to Huijsen are going to play the full 90, it seems, because every game, the defense only trend goes off, really. I think Valverde and Tchouaméni are locked in. And then obviously you've got the likes of Franco Mastantuono and Arda Güler. What's going to happen when Jude Bellingham comes back? That's a very interesting one, obviously. But let's see. But yeah, I thought Mastantuono had a good game. Good link up with Arda Güler, who was incredible. Vini Jr. was brilliant. And Mbappe was quieter than he was usually. But again, it's just one of those one-off games that he's not at his peak. Carvajal, Rodrigo, Gonzalo Garcia, Ceballos, and Brahim Diaz all came on. And yeah, my man of the match, I would say Arda Güler, you know. It's between Arda Güler, Vini Jr. or Carreras. Carreras because of that clearance, that shot that he just did, that crazy bicycle kick that to clear it out. That was something special as well. Vini Jr. looked good. Nothing crazy, of course, but you know, this is a sort of step up that he needs to take to boost his confidence. And Arda Güler was just involved quite a bunch. He's got that goal. Should have had another. And was the anchor of the midfield, creating everything for those around him. Yeah, probably one of those three. If I had to choose one, I'll say, you know what, I'm gonna say the man of the match is Arda Güler. Locked in. That's what I'm gonna say. I thought he was brilliant. But yeah, now Real Madrid head into the international break for 2 weeks. So 2 weeks no football. Boo. But we'll be back with Real Sociedad away. That's gonna be a tough game. That is going to be a tough place to go. San Sebastian. And then we've got Marseille at home. The Champions League is back. And then Espanyol at home. And then in 3 days after Espanyol at home is Levante away. And then it's the Madrid derby away. So the season is coming in thick and fast. And yeah, really excited for that. But that's gonna be it for today. Let me know what your thoughts are down below. Hope you guys have enjoyed today's video. Hit the like if you did. Subscribe to the channel on already. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.